It's a beautiful Wednesday, December 3rd, and you're listening to the Oklahoma Breakdown with Ikard and Lehman presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's number one casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match, roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. Now, today is National Signing Day, Ted.
Mm-hmm.
And we're recording this before we got to go do TV for signing day for OU. Talk about this tremendous signing class that the Sooners have. They're all going to be stars, baby. Let's go. But
All underrated. Every
all,
single one of them.
all the highly rated guys are properly rated. All the 3-star guys, they're diamonds in the rough. That's just how it works.
That's right.
But we got more important stuff to talk about right now with this year's football team. So we are going to Sunday's episode, we're going to focus on the signing class. We'll talk through a bunch of those guys. But right now, we're going to focus on the college football playoff rankings, conference championship weekend. Here we go. We got to live in the now. No, I'm very excited for several guys in the signing class. Don't get me wrong, but man, we still got ball to play, baby. We're focusing on this season.
Season ain't over yet.
Let's do it. Here we go.
Let's go.
And we've got David Pollack, and we cover a lot in this interview with Pollack. He's great. So let's get into the CFP stuff. Despite the best efforts of Joel Klatt, Chris Felica, who else? Danny Cannell, Tom Fornelli. There's a long list. Despite their best efforts to try to get OU dropped out of the playoff for whatever reason, the Sooners still checking in at number 8 in the college football playoff rankings. Ted, it feels like we are right where we should be in that 8th spot.
Yeah, I agree. I think as it sits, we're still the highest ranked 2-loss team. I think rightfully so. Alabama right behind us, head-to-head win over them. I mean, I can see a handful of arguments out there about, the order just behind us, but I think we're sitting right where you would expect.
Before we start talking about what matchup we want, like all of the hypotheticals, right? What happened over the last couple of days with some of these big names in college football media coming after OU? What was that, dude? That was so strange. It's like, did Fox and CBS like send out an email or something? I don't understand. Listen, no one has gone into more detail criticizing OU's offense than me. No one. And still, it was one of those things where I was like, wait, they know we're winning the games, right? It's as if the wins don't matter to these people. It was so bizarre, dude. I was just sitting there going, what is happening?
Yeah, bizarre is the proper word. I mean, I like Joel Klatt. I've known him for a long time, but listening to him talk about the resume that sticks out that doesn't belong is Oklahoma. What the hell is he talking about? And is it worth making yourself look dumb, look like you can't see the big picture, like you're all dialed in on one team? Is it worth your reputation for that? I mean, I don't know. It was weird. It definitely felt like a coordinated effort to come after Oklahoma. I'm like, why does Miami care about Oklahoma? Point your anger at Notre Dame. Doesn't have anything to do with Oklahoma.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I just think the way OU is winning games, the way OU has won some huge games this year just is kind of breaking people's brains a bit.
Yeah.
Like 10-2 against arguably the toughest schedule in college football, and you've done it with defense and field goal kicking.
Yeah.
It's I think people are just having trouble digesting that for whatever reason.
Yeah. I mean, it all goes back to the way we select our playoff. Because of the way college football is set up, you have to have these kind of beauty contests. There's not hard. It's not just pure win loss gets you in, right? You win your division, you win your conference, like all of these things. It's a weird system, and it brings out all kinds of strange arguments. Sagarin ratings and how many yards you give up or what your offense does. Do you score more points than the other football team? What are we doing? Right? Do you win the games? Yes. If you win the games, then that's all you really need resume wise.
If I have to hear that Bama outgained us by 200 yards again, I'm going to lose my mind.
Hey,
turn the film on. Just turn it on. You're going to go, one team is smashing the other.
That's the thing.
Especially when we're on defense, okay?
Yeah. That's the thing is like, you have all these talking heads. You went through the list of people. You go blind, truth serum, ask the coaches that are in the playoff who wants to play Oklahoma. Like, when people are looking at matchups that they would want in the playoff, Oklahoma's name is not coming up at the top of the list. I can guarantee you that.
Now, if you're asking defensive coordinators, maybe a different conversation. Let's be real. But once again, it's a team that is led by its defense and special teams. Right. That's what we are. So one thing that I am glad, because we know OU's going to be in the playoff. And we'll talk about, hey, are we going to host in Norman or are we going to have to go on the road here in a second? But it kind of felt like over the last couple of days, there was this Oklahoma versus everybody thing building a little bit. Like all these people telling us that we don't belong despite going 10-2 against that schedule. I don't know. Venables is a bulletin board material guy. Like they collect all of that. They're going to put all of this in one clip for this team to watch right before they play this game. Like I kind of sat and just watched all of these people say all of these asinine things. And I just sat there and did the Mr. Burns, like, excellent. You know what I mean? Like I can't think of a better thing to happen to us. We'll see what the matchup ends up looking like, but all these people saying we don't belong because our offense is terrible. I have to imagine the staff and the players are seeing all this stuff and they're going to go, okay, we're going to show you. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
No, I don't. Whatever motivate. I mean, being in the playoff has to be the most motivating thing you can have, but any little piece that you can sprinkle on top of it for sure. And yeah, I would imagine, despite what they've been through the last month, that this team is going to be chomping at the bit to go out there and prove themselves on a national stage. And, the last thing you would ever want is to go prove some of these people right. Regardless, you've earned your position. But yeah, bulletin board material, whatever motivation you need, bring it on.
They may not want to watch OU's offense, but they don't have a choice. You're going to watch it and you're going to like it.
That's right. That is right.
Let's dive deeper into the CFP rankings. I think the thing that caught a lot of people's attention was Alabama jumping Notre Dame and being in that 9 spot. It makes the result of the SEC championship game very interesting. If Bama wins it and beats Georgia, it feels like that's going to move them up past us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just kind of how it feels to me. But I think the more interesting thing is if Bama loses the SEC championship game, them being placed ahead of Notre Dame makes it feel like that just even if they lose that they're going to stay in the field. That was kind of my read on them being placed in that 9 spot, Ted.
Yeah, and it makes sense. You know, I don't know the exact wording on it, and we've got 1 year of precedent here, but like if you make the championship game, especially in the SEC or the Big Ten, it feels like if you lose that game, I mean, aside from maybe Alabama getting blown off the field, which I don't see happening, I'm with you. It feels like you're in. Maybe you can improve a little bit depending on some of the other results, but if you're in on championship weekend, then you're probably not going to be out. So we'll see how it unfolds. I mean, there's a bunch of different scenarios out there, but you know, I think I tend to be with you on that, but you never know. I feel like it's pretty strong bet that Alabama's going to be in outside of some wacky result in that football game.
The committee was just giggling when they decided to move Ole Miss up a spot.
Yeah.
You
Interesting.
and I have no problem with it. Texas A&M at 7 and Ole Miss at 6. I've got no problem with that. But that committee was like, because the conversation was, are they going to drop him because Lane Kiffin left and he's taken the staff? Oh, by the way, turns out all the players didn't want him to coach them the rest of the season. That's
Weird.
weird.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin's story about what went down, not exactly true.
This is
Fascinating.
our shocked faces.
Yeah. Well, it yeah, Ole Miss moved up, but really it's A&M moving back,
Yeah.
just kind of move up by default. But I will say this, like before I saw that Charlie Weiss was going to come back and coach and call plays, I was like, man, that's going to be a different Ole Miss football team. Now this changes things a little bit, but um, I mean, I would say that at least for one game when they're hosting at home, that's going to be a dangerous football team, and that's going to be a crazy environment, right? I mean, we've seen in the past whenever you get, you know, left and you're everyone's angry, that can create quite the motivation for a football team.
There's no doubt about it. And in a weird way, I think a bunch of people are going to be cheering for Ole
Oh
Miss.
yeah, yeah,
No doubt.
yep.
Now, we saw James Madison at number 25. They are now in position to make the college football playoff if Virginia stumbles in the ACC championship game against Duke. We'll see how that plays out, but Duke really has a chance to blow this entire thing up. But if James Madison and whoever wins the American title game are both in, I think that's what causes everyone to say, we need to scrap this and try again.
Yeah, it. Which, by the way, the ACC has really let this whole the ACC looks god awful right now, and
Miami, it's Miami's fault.
yeah,
It's Miami's fault for losing 2 conference games. That team is way too talented to lose the games that they lost.
yep, I agree. I agree.
And
Um,
now they're whining and crying about where they are, and we'll see. Hey, if Bama if they end up being side by side compared with Notre Dame, will they jump them and then be the 10 seed? We'll see. But when you're that much more talented than your opponents, you got to take care of business, man. That's just I don't know what
yeah,
else to say other than that.
I know. And again, why they're mad at Oklahoma, I have no idea. The team that you beat already is right there in front of you. Point all your anger at Notre Dame. Doesn't have anything to do with Oklahoma. Notre Dame is I really do not understand that whole situation. How Notre Dame is ahead of Miami. Their schedule, I, they either need to join a conference or everyone needs to just stop playing them. They're still in your spots.
Yeah. I mean, if you're the SEC, you're not really worried about it, but the ACC, that scheduling agreement that they've got with them, there, I'm sure there's some meetings taking place behind closed doors, right? Where like, hey,
Yeah,
are we
it'll be
sure?
good.
Like, I know it's good because Notre Dame is like arguably the biggest brand in the sport, but this is starting to feel like a bad deal for us, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Let's let's get into what it could look like for OU. So I feel like the options, if we are hosting a game in Norman, would be Notre Dame, Miami, and then follow me on this one, Ted. Texas Tech. Bama seems unlikely
I agree.
because Bama's going to move up in front of us if they win the SEC championship game and likely drop to what, 10
Yeah,
if they lose the SEC championship game.
that's how I see it.
So it kind of seems unlikely that we'll get a rematch with Bama in round one. Now, I think you and I would both love a number 8 OU versus a number 9 Notre Dame in Norman. And it feels like the easiest path to that is UGA wins a close one against Bama in the SEC championship game, and then Texas Tech wins the Big 12 title game over BYU. Bama would
Chalk.
be the
Yeah.
10 then, and then we'd have the OU Notre Dame 8-9 game. That
And
seems likely, and it's certainly the easiest path to a very, very fun matchup, man.
oh, it'd be great. Yeah. I think that, I mean, I love the Alabama, that would be Alabama A&M at that point, right? So you'd have Alabama A&M and M and Notre Dame, Oklahoma. That would be awesome. So
Pretty
yeah,
pretty
it's,
good.
it seems like that's the most likely result, but you know, we've all been waiting for the chaos. It feels like it's hasn't happened yet. Maybe the conference championship games give it to us. I don't know.
If BYU wins the Big 12 title game in a close one, right? They avenge their loss to Tech. BYU's going to move up, especially since, hey, the Kalani Sitake thing has been settled. They're keeping their coach. I don't know who Penn State's going to hire. Good luck.
Yeah,
I That
running out of
situation,
options quickly.
yeah, seems like things are getting weird up there. But so if BYU wins the Big 12 title game, I think they're going to move up because then they will be a 12-1 conference champion with a win over number 4.
Yeah,
I mean, it's likely they move up ahead of us. The question becomes, how far would that drop Tech? Would they drop Tech to 8, bumping us to 9, and we'd have to go to Lubbock? Would they drop Tech all the way to 9, and Tech would have to come to Norman?
yeah. It's hard to know. I mean, schedule wise, it's not even close between the two teams what they had to play through. I don't know their how they would go about it. It would be, I mean, I wouldn't mind a Tech matchup. I mean, whenever you look through and see all the different teams, I mean, I know Tech's good. They've got a really good defense, but I would feel pretty good about that. But my God, I don't want to go to Lubbock to play a playoff game.
That would be hostile.
Yeah.
But if you ask like the best scenario for OU to win a first round game, it feels like BYU wins the Big 12 title game. And then we end up somehow like OU versus Tech in Norman.
Yeah.
Like
That'd be
that
good.
would be, you cannot ask for a better chance than that if you're OU, especially I guess you could say, hey, somehow we get to the 7 seed and we get Virginia or something, or Virginia in the first round game, like in the 7-10.
Yeah.
But that feels unlikely to me. I
Yeah. I
think
agree.
I think Virginia and whoever comes out of the American, like that's going to be your 11 and 12. That's how
Yeah.
it feels to me, at least.
I agree with that. It feels to me like the most likely result is 8-9 Oklahoma Notre Dame in Norman. I feel like there's a couple of different scenarios where you could still get that, but you know, I don't know. I it I don't know. It's so hard to look at some of this stuff because you don't have a bunch of precedent, and I just don't know what they're saying inside that room whenever you look at some of these things, and like how do they weight the championship game loss compared to a regular season loss? If a team is 11-2 as opposed to 10-2, like how do they treat that? But all I know is I want to be at home, and
Right.
you don't want to go on the road for a bunch of different reasons, but um, as long as we're at home, I kind of like whatever matchup it feels like we're going to get. I mean, I would almost favor Notre Dame over Texas Tech. Would you favor playing Tech?
I would want to play Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I think both groups, I think both offensive lines would struggle to block our defensive line, but I think Tech's would struggle more.
Yeah.
And
I get
Tech's
my
got
worry.
they've got good players. There's no doubt about it. That defense is legit. It is. They don't have Jeremiah Love on offense.
Yeah.
They don't have Price on offense. Like I think overall Notre Dame's a more talented football team.
Yeah. My view of it would be like Notre Dame isn't as athletic on the outside, in their passing game isn't quite what Tex is. The running game is good, but I mean, I kind of feel like that's our specialty, but either or. I think it's very similar, but give me one of those matchups and I'd be happy. Feel like we'd have a good chance.
So we want OU to host first and foremost. Like, you want to
Yeah.
be at home. I know we got the road dogs thing going. I get it. But you want to be at home for this game for a whole lot of reasons, including a live Oklahoma breakdown podcast being on the line.
Yes.
If we go on the road, it ain't happening. If we host, it's happening.
Yes.
So there's that. Does the committee factor that in? I don't know. They
I
should.
could give Juracek a call over at Arkansas. I mean, they've got their head coach. He's not busy anymore. So yeah, I'll give him a call and be like, listen, hey, trying to host something here, man.
I can call Arkansas's new head coach and tell him to tell Juracek.
There you
How about
go.
that?
Good.
Like,
got
hey
it
man,
in.
we got a live podcast on the line here, buddy. Silverfield's my guy. Love that guy. But it feels like there are more paths to us not hosting a game than paths to us hosting a game. That's how it felt to me as I looked at the rankings, because when you look at it, if Alabama wins the SEC championship game and Tech beats BYU, Alabama likely leapfrogs us. I don't think they'll drop Georgia past us, and we'll end up being the 9 seed, which in all likelihood would set up an 8-9 game in College Station.
Woo.
Which, if we're going to go on the road, give me the most hostile environment possible. And that place, we make fun of all those people in that cult, but that place rocks, dude. I mean,
yeah.
that would be, if we're going to go on the road, you talk about just the best environment possible for us to go call a game, Ted. OU in College Station would be nuts, dude.
It would be. And I haven't been there. I haven't been there in a long time. So that would be cool. I mean, that's would basically mean we've taken the tour of the biggest stadiums in the country this year. So yeah, that would be awesome. And it's a matchup in this field that A&M, good team, no doubt about it. Athletic, great defense. But, I think that there's some things on that football team that you could chisel away at. But yeah, that would be a nice place to go play on the road if it happens.
I could also see a scenario. Hey, Alabama wins the SEC championship game. Tech beats BYU. Georgia falls to the 8th seed. And then it's an 8-9 matchup between the Dogs and the Sooners in Athens.
Do you think Georgia would fall behind Ole Miss? They beat them.
I don't think so. Like, I think if Georgia loses, they're going to fall very minimally.
Yeah.
I just don't know how far Bama's going to move up. That's where I'm having trouble. Like, I think they're going to move up. I would think they would move up past A&M when you look at the resumes. So that's where I don't think Georgia's, with the loss, I don't think Georgia's fallen below 8. They're probably not falling below 7 or 6. Does it just bump everything back from Ole Miss and A&M? It feels like that. Think. Does it kind of feel like if Alabama wins the SEC championship game and Tech beats BYU, the most likely matchup is we have to go to College Station?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that just kind of
does that make us big Georgia fans this weekend? It's kind of how it feels.
It feels like you want chalk, right? It feels like you want the favorites to win. What do you think? Does Indiana move anywhere if Ohio State beats them? Do they stay at 2?
I think it certainly depends on how the game unfolds. Like if they lose by 2 touchdowns, do they drop out of having a first round bye? That's the question for me, because I think when you look at it, I think the SEC champion, if it's Georgia, like I think Georgia's going to be the 2 seed if they win.
Yeah.
Whoever wins the Big Ten title game is going to be the 1 seed. And then it'll kind of fall in place from there. But Indiana, if they lose that game, they're not falling behind Oregon.
No.
They went to Oregon and smacked them.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think they'd fall out of the top 4.
I'm with you. I think Tech feels like the team that has the most to lose to me.
Yeah.
Now, I think they're going to handle BYU just fine. That game was non-competitive.
Yeah.
Early in the season.
Chunk of that one too. Yeah,
but
I agree.
think, don't you think at the very least, like Indiana ends up being the 4 seed?
Yeah, I don't see them dropping out of the top 4. If anything, like if Indiana loses and Georgia wins, I just think like they would probably flip.
I think no matter what happens in the Big Ten championship game, I think the Big Ten champion is going to be the 1 seed and the runner-up is going to be the 3 seed. I think they're going to try to get those 2 teams, the Big Ten, on different sides of the bracket.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
Now, the committee would never admit that. But that's how it feels to me. And that's why as we continue to talk through the past where OU has to go on the road in the first round, if Bama wins the SEC championship game and BYU beats Tech like in a close game in the Big 12 championship, that's where it feels like OU is going to be in the 7-10 game as the 10 seed. Because BYU would be a 12-1 Big 12 champion. I don't think Tech's going to like plummet in the rankings. This is where we have to be realistic about the conversation that is taking place with our offense amongst the committee.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it goes, hey, are we the 10 seed and we got to go to Autzen and play number 7 Oregon? Are we the 10 seed and we got to go play number 7 Ole Miss? That's where if we end up in that 10 spot, it's a bit of a mystery. But there's just a couple of options of what that 7-10 game could look like for us.
Yeah. Yeah, and those 2, I think I'd prefer to go to Ole Miss over Oregon. Don't know as much about the football team, but that's a long That's a long way to go for a bunch. You wouldn't have as many OU fans at all out of Oregon. Not that that necessarily matters, but uh, I don't know. What do you think about that? Either one of those matchups. Which one do you think's a better matchup for OU?
I think the familiarity with Ole Miss is helpful. And there's this uncertainty with Oregon that I don't like. What receivers are they going to have? But if they have all their dudes back, no one. There's not a better pure passer in college football than Dante Moore. The dude can spin it.
Yep.
And I've never been there, but Austin's supposed to be a very difficult place to play. We went to Ole Miss a year ago, and I know it would be cranked up several notches for this, but it was one of those atmospheres where you went, okay, yeah, it's solid.
Yep.
But it wasn't Knoxville or Tuscaloosa, you know what I mean?
No doubt. Yeah.
And
it would be, it's that whoever they play, it's going to be their best atmosphere they've probably ever had.
No doubt. And
considering the circumstances,
I'm hopeful that Trinidad Chambliss doesn't turn into the second coming of Jesus Christ again in the pocket, okay?
Right.
That guy was unbelievable against us. So I think I would like to go play Ole Miss in Oxford, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
How about this? Because everyone wants to know what's the Sooner Nation rooting guide? We know how popular that is now. It's become very famous here in the state of Oklahoma, Ted. What is your ideal matchup in Norman?
Notre Dame.
OU Notre Dame in Norman.
Yep.
I love it. If I could pick, like if the things could fall into place exactly right, my ideal matchup is OU Texas Tech in Norman.
Yeah. Yep.
If we have to go on the road, whether we're in the 8-9 game as the 9 seed or in the 7-10 game as the 10 seed, which matchup are you picking?
So if we're in the 8-9, we're thinking that's A&M, or we're talking A&M or Oregon, right? Is most likely what we think those would be. A&M.
I think if we end up as the 9 seed, it kind of feels like A&M's the only option, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if BYU and Bama both win, it feels like we're in the 10 seed. To me.
Yep. Yep.
It feels like both of those teams would jump ahead of us in Tech and Georgia. I don't know if those teams are going to fall all the way behind us. That seems unlikely to me.
Yeah,
that feels awfully punitive for being in a conference title game. You know what I mean?
The only other scenario, which you feel like, is there any way that BYU would just go to 9 if they won that game, or do you think it's a guarantee that they would jump us?
It feels like a guarantee they would jump us.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it goes back to the conversation about our offense.
Yep.
And BYU's metrics are good.
Mm-hmm.
That their stuff is good. A lot of people look at their resume and go, why are they not getting more respect? Now, could we end up with BYU as the 8 and us as the 9? And have to go to Provo?
I guess.
I guess if Georgia wins.
Oh, I don't know. That field is so bad.
Georgia wins. And then BYU wins in a close one. Like, would they bump up to the 8? Could they somehow be in the 8? And we'd have to go to Provo in the 8-9 game. There are a lot of different things could happen. Maybe I don't know if we've accomplished anything with this conversation other than a lot of different things can happen.
And really melting the wires in my brain is really what happens here. It's a lot. It's a lot of unknown.
How about this? Let's simplify it as much as possible. What do we want to happen? I think you and I we're on the same page. We want OU in Norman in the first round.
No doubt.
The easiest path to that is to cheer for Georgia to win
Yep.
and to cheer for Texas Tech to win.
Bam.
That guarantees us that guarantees that we stay in the 8th spot. Yep. Essentially. Chalk.
Yep. Chalk.
We're rooting for chalk.
Come on, Georgia. Golly.
Come on,
just
Georgia.
Get it done.
Come on, Gunnar Stockton.
Get the Bama monkey off the back.
They came to Athens and smacked you guys earlier in the season. You got to avenge that loss, Georgia. Come on, boys. You have undoubtedly influenced this mentality. If we're going to go on the road, give me College Station. I want to feel the just hostility raining down on me.
That's right. Yep. And I
think they're a really good football team too, but
yeah,
that would just be so much fun for me personally. For us, like to go call that game in that environment would be incredible.
Yep. It's like I said, I haven't been there in a long time, and say what you want. I don't know how you explain it, or our football team has played well in those type of environments. So I'm down. Let's go. Give me A&M. If we're on the road, that would be the choice.
Let's get to call your shot. We asked you guys your dream matchup for OU in this CFP. This first one comes from Bam Bam 4, who says, anything but another SEC team. I don't want the SEC taking each other out. Let the other conferences play us so we can compare. No need seeing OU versus Alabama. OU Notre Dame and Alabama versus A&M would be great games. We have seen Notre Dame and A&M play and OU versus Alabama play. That's a fair assessment of it. Like I think we both would rather see two new matchups than us somehow playing Bama again.
Yeah,
not that we're scared of Bama or anything. It's like, and that's the one thing is, hey, with this defense, well, I'm not scared to play anyone.
That's right.
At all.
That's right.
Bring them on. But I do think there would be something special about an OU Notre Dame in Norman, most likely at night. That would be, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would be big time. Absolutely. And that would be, I mean, there's a lot of hate out there about Oklahoma right now, which, is a good thing because like that would be the most watched. Well, I don't know. Maybe everyone watches the same games and they all rate about the same, but I feel like if you got Notre Dame at home, you got a good chance of being that Friday night or Saturday night game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think you're in a primetime slot for sure if that's the matchup. And don't forget, that leads to a very fun live Oklahoma Breakdown podcast. Just saying.
Boom. Let's go.
This other one comes from Ran Oliver, who says, Notre Dame, we win and catch Ohio State with nothing to lose. Great season. Yeah.
And I'm trying
or Indiana. And whoever wins that Big Ten championship game.
If Ohio State wins, and I think that would be the Rose Bowl, correct?
Oh, now you're getting way out of my depth. I've not looked.
Too far ahead.
No. I'm simply focused on the first round.
Yeah.
This stuff's all way too confusing. Just play all the games on site.
Yep.
Play it on campus.
That would be amazing. That would be great.
Oh, I like this one. This one comes from Tech Nerd 1, who says, OU versus Notre Dame. Winner gets to keep play like a champion.
Yeah, that is awesome. And we can, that would be good because most people don't know that, right? They don't know the story there. So you could pound that story all week and make them have to own that they stole it from Oklahoma, right?
Make them answer for their crimes.
That's right.
OU versus Notre Dame. OU versus A&M in College Station. Oh, my gosh. But We want to host. So we're rooting for Chalk. Final decision, final answer?
Final answer. Let's go Georgia. Let's go Tech.
And then we get who we get, and
we get who we get.
We'll
which I think is Notre Dame, but I don't know. Maybe it's Miami.
Who knows what the committee is going to do? They're like, yeah, teams can move up and down even though they're on a bye. I'm like, oh, here we go.
After all this time, if they move Notre Dame at the 11th hour, after having them in front of Miami the whole time, that place will lose their mind, and I'll be here for it. Okay.
Bring on the Irish, bring on the Hurricanes. We don't care.
There we go.
We just want it in Norman.
We want
That's where I'm at with it. All right. Now, the last time we had an interview, we gave people a heads up about the strong language that was coming. That is not needed. This interview with David Pollack, not a single cuss word, parents, so you're good to listen to it with your kids in the car.
Now, he does replace a cuss word with ace. Okay, that's as bad as he goes.
It's clean one. Don't have to worry about it. Can listen to it with all the little ears around, people.
It's good stuff too. He's good.
We cover a lot. So here is David Pollack. But first, download the Loves app from Love's Travel Stops, your guide to savings on the road. Fill up for less with the discount on fuel, 10 cents off on every gallon of gas, and 25 cents off on every gallon of auto diesel. And don't forget, in the store, you can unlock mobile deals on the Loves app to save on snacks, drinks, and select meals at Love's restaurants. Plus, you can plan your pit stops for your next road trip with the map and route planner. All from Love's, the heart of the highway.
Steaks are back. Didier Ranch's luxury steak cuts are restocked and ready to ship straight to your door. From mouth-watering ribeyes to silky smooth fillets, this is the best beef Oklahoma has to offer. And here's the kicker. They're now shipping next day air for free when you use code SOONER at checkout. That's right. Next day air like Amazon Prime, but for steak. Didier Ranch delivers taste and tradition the luxurious way. Order today at DidierRanch.com and get your steaks just in time for the holidays.
And we were brought to you by Simple Modern, the Oklahoma-owned company and the official drinkware partner of the OU Sooners. Guys, have you wrapped up your holiday shopping yet? Let me let you in on a little secret. Simple Modern has amazing holiday gifts for everyone. You can get a Mesa tumbler for your wife, a Voyager 360 for your coffee-loving friends, or be Dad of the Year with so many different gift ideas for your kiddos. Check out Simple Modern's complete gift guide at simplemodern.com and delight everyone on your holiday gift list with just a few clicks. And with 10% of all profits going to charity, many right here in Oklahoma, every sip supports Oklahomans on and off the field. Simple Modern, good everywhere. It is our pleasure to be joined by the host of one of my favorite podcasts out there, See Ball, Get Ball, one of the best titles out there also. And let's not forget, this man was a bad dude on the football field. David Pollack is in the house. What's going on, man?
There's a lot of meat right now on this set. This might set a record for most linemen's with what we got going on right here.
Well, hey, man, I got to tell you,
We'll let the linebacker come too, but I'm just saying we got the beef with the offensive line and defensive line, baby.
Listen, you guys just cancel each other out, and I'll go get the glory. All right?
Yeah, attaboy.
That's how it goes. Hey, man, I know I've heard you talk a little bit about Oklahoma and the defense, and I got to tell you, as a guy, I played for Venables a million years ago. We've been through the offensive phases around here. It's so awesome for me to watch this defense play, and I've heard you talk about them. What have been your impressions of this team?
I mean, it started preseason. You watched them last year, and you watched the defensive line, and you're like, that's fun. And then obviously the ability too, man, to have so many guys that they can play. And I'm just telling you, and this is like this is going to be an Oklahoma like presser right here, a perfect release for everybody. But like, I'm a defensive lineman. And when you play in a system, you want to play in this system. You want to play in a system that penetrates, that's aggressive, that's attacking. Like the two gap stuff sucks, man. Like it's just not fun. Like, so they've got such a good system. Listen, our Mason hadn't even played that much recently, right? Like just being banged up. But you see Ween come in and make plays and block kicks and get sack fumbles. And like you see Stone continues to be a problem. But just so many guys up front, man, that we could point to that just kick ace, and they play aggressive. They play like your coach, man, like your coach used to do it. Now, you don't have a get back coach anymore. You don't have that guy ripping him back because he's a little bit calmer because he has to look at the whole picture. But the defense always takes on the personality of the coach. Always. That's how it works. They play on edge. They play aggressive. They play fast. They make plays. And quite honestly, we know exactly why they're here. It's because of the defense. Like, it's kind of been hold on with the offense right now. It hasn't got it together yet. It's trying to figure it out, I think, and it's got a couple weeks to do so. But the defense it's probably the most fun defense in the country to watch.
Pollack, over the last couple of days, it seems like everyone has just decided, not everyone, but a lot of people have decided that, OU's not that good because of the offense. And I saw you come out and be like, hey, man, but no one wants to play that defense. It seems like the way that OU has won this season is kind of breaking people's brains a little bit. Like, wait, this is ugly. I don't like it. It's interesting how this team is being perceived, right?
Well, Alabama outgained them by 200 yards and lost the game, right? So, like, we've lived in an offensive era. Like, we've been in an offensive era for a long time, and offense is what's sexy and what sells seats. And listen, to start the season, we thought Oklahoma had that, and we thought that it was going to be about that life. Like, listen, John Mateer is special. Like, that dude. Everybody can talk about all the draft boards and who's there. Nobody's mentioning him for that spot. And I don't know if what he's going to do in this future, but like, I'm just telling you, the dude's got horsepower. Like, it's a different level of horsepower. Like, that dude's a Ferrari. Like, he grabs that thing and rips that thing. Like, now listen, it's a little sidearm, and I'll be honest, like, the offensive sputters, the inability to run the ball, consistently. Love to see more of that. John did that early in the season. I'd love to see him be a part of it more. But, like, you got to pave some holes too, and there's a lot of freshmen on that line, and they're growing and learning, and they got to figure out what they are and what they do well. But I think it's not sexy, So I think when people see that, they don't like that. They want to see the sizzle. They want to see the points. But yeah, that's exactly what I said in response. Go play that defense. Like, nobody likes being pressured the whole game. Nobody likes feeling on edge, like having to make a decision really, really quickly. And again, go back to that Alabama game. There's a difference between getting lucky with turnovers and forcing turnovers. They force turnovers. You get to Simpson early. You do a great job getting him, disguising, bringing a blitz right up the middle in the A gap. He doesn't see it because you do a great job with your blitz, forces the throw, Bowen gets the interception. The punch out on the punt return, that's a forced fumble. That's not luck, right? That's not an oblong ball bouncing a different way. Ween with the sack from the blind side of Ty Simpson, the ball coming out. Those are forced turnovers. Like, that's what I think it's fun to watch, a group that forces you to play and get out of your comfort zone. And that's what this defense does. The offense has just got to find a way to get more, because this is the way, Nick Saban and the SEC used to win. This isn't the way everybody's been winning the last several years. You got to have an offense that can score some points.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. You kind of go back and watch when Saban kind of took over before he had firm control of the conference. It felt kind of a lot like it is right now. A bunch of close games, but, they stockpiled all that talent and just ran away from everyone. And I guess that kind of builds into my question about the SEC is, like, where do you see the level? Is the level just really high across the board, or has the top kind of come down to everyone else, or is it somewhere in between?
I think it's somewhere in between. The top has definitely come down for sure. Like, if you're looking at, and Dan Lanning, me and him have had a back and forth for about like 2 weeks now about discussing leagues and comparing leagues. And it's been interesting to talk about, but like, because of the transfer portal, you got so many guys that are leaving. They go make a name, they get paid, they go somewhere else. That's a part of business. Like, that's a part of the world that we live in now. So I do think the top doesn't have, like, Alabama used to get, Georgia used to get all of these 5-star kids they were just growing in the hopper and getting better and learning a system. Now it's every year you're playing younger guys. Like, you got to go play now because I've invested in you, and I can't buy a third. I don't worry about third string anymore. Like, I don't have the funds to worry about third string, right? Like, I got to field a team that can, it's just like the NFL. It's very much like the NFL now. So I think the top has come down. I think it's by far the most competitive league, from top to middle tier. Like there's so many teams that if you don't bring your A game, they can beat you. And I had Caleb Downs on my podcast yesterday, and I asked him, I was like, Caleb, you played in both leagues, man. Like, you're at Ohio State now. Give me a little bit of intel. He was like, man, he's like, the SEC, it's just every week. He was like, he was like, we have like 2 or 3, 4 games that we play, but every week having to bring it. So you got teams like Vanderbilt. Like, guys, what are we doing? We're saying Vanderbilt in the same sentence as playoffs. And so there's just so many. Like, the difference in this league is when you play against a South Carolina has a first-round quarterback. South Carolina has a top 15 edge rusher, right? Like, South Carolina has a receiver that runs a 10-100, like – they've just got some dudes that are going to play on Sundays that on the wrong day they can beat you. But I think it's going to be tough from the SEC because they're going to get more teams in, but a team to win it because all of them, the consistency across the board, offense and defense, isn't always there.
Looking at kind of the big picture, is it in your mind? Is it Ohio State kind of above the level of everyone else right now, David?
Bro, yeah. I mean,
they're legit now. Like, I mean, the tape does not lie.
And Teddy, I you're a defensive guy, so I'd love to hear your opinion too, especially being a linebacker. Like Arvell Reese, I mean, this dude, I don't think people understand. Like he obviously he transfers in to Ohio State, but he played on the edge. But like he's got ninja hands. Like he hits people and they feel it. Like he's got stone hands. And then also the ability to run things down, also the ability to pass rush. I mean, they've got obviously Caleb Downs who can play. He said it yesterday. He said, I've played every position besides nose tackle. Well, I was like, well, you need to play nose tackle. That's your job. You need to go.
What are they doing?
What's
taking so long?
I mean, seriously, you need to make sure you check all the boxes, but they've got a lot of versatility. And then when you go to their offense, man, a quarterback who's accurate, 2 first-round wide receivers, like they're the team to beat to me, and it's very clear. And now, listen, have they played the best competition all year? No, they have not. But, again, Oklahoma right now with their offense, they have a bad day on defense, give up some explosive plays. You don't feel good about winning. Ohio State, I can win a shootout. I can win a low-scoring game because I got both sides clicking at a really, really high level. I think Ohio State's got that above everybody else. Indiana's had a really good season, but you've seen cracks in Indiana as the season's gone along. The offensive line has had some health issues, and I think they're not as talented. Ohio State has at least 3 first-round picks on their defense. And Matt Patricia loves what they're doing versatility-wise because they can show you so many different looks. So, and then Ohio State's got 2 first-round wide receivers. So that's really fun to play football with.
It's rare. You'll see a bunch of defenses that have a good front 7, but lack it a little bit in the secondary. When you've got all 3 levels, and then on offense, it's the same thing. It's every piece of the game. You mentioned you were talking to Lanning. What do you think about Oregon? Because I see talent everywhere, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm not seeing it for, that real contender level. I could be wrong.
Well, okay. So Dante Moore continues to pass every test. And I think he is the definition of a flatliner. Like, I'm not sure his pulse gets above 20. Like, he's just chill all the time. They've got a stable of backs that run as angry as anyone in the country. Like, they run with some vitriol, man. Like, they finish runs, always finish forward. Receivers have been banged up, but you saw Moore last week do a great job. Sadiq's a heck of a tight end. So I think they've got a bunch of pieces, and they've got a chance to put it together and do well because their defensive line is really, really good. Their offensive line is really good. It's just been a hodgepodge at receiver, but they can run it, and they've won it. They've won it against Iowa, lining up and just pounding the ball away. Like, that's a tough thing to do to Iowa. Like, now they have the Indiana blimp that makes you think twice, right? Like, at home against Indiana, lost by double digits. Was that a bad day? I don't know, but I think I do put Oregon on the short list of teams. Like, I think Ohio State's clearly the favorite. If you're going to give me another team probably that's in that mix, it's, Indiana's obviously proven that they beat Oregon, but Oregon's going to be on the short contender list to go win this thing.
We'll get you back to the interview, but first,
Schwab Meat has been smoking the highest quality meats, hot dogs, and sausages in OKC since 1912. Go to schwabmeat.com to order any of Schwab's outstanding products and use promo code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab dogs are iconic. I like to keep it simple. Just a bun, dog, mustard, ketchup. Also, the jalapeno cheddar smoked sausage is ridiculous. Schwabmeat.com, code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab Meat, the official hot dog of game days.
With ice cold beers, great food, and TVs all around, Pub W is the perfect spot to catch OU football and NFL Sundays. Pub W has been voted best happy hour 3 years in a row and serves brunch Saturday and Sunday mornings until 2 p.m. You can enjoy classics like chicken and waffles and their steak breakfast burrito, as well as unique dishes like the Big Country Benedict. Plus, brunch Marys, mimosas, and espresso martinis. Visit pubw.com to find a location near you. Pub W, good food, good drinks, good people.
Insurica's launched a new digital agency introducing Insurica Direct. Whether you're in Oklahoma or anywhere across the U.S., they've got you covered. From small business insurance and health insurance for your employees to insurance for individuals like home, auto, and even Medicare supplements. Insurica Direct's got it all. Start your journey today at insuricadirect.com. Remember, at Insurica, we specialize in you.
All right, back to the interview. I agree with that. Now, let's jump into some of these conference championship games, man. Got to start with number 1 versus number 2 in the Big Ten. Are there any key matchups that you think will determine this thing between Ohio State and Indiana? It feels like it's got game of the year potential.
Yeah, and listen, Indiana's obviously going to get challenged, and Ohio State will get challenged some, but I'm just really interested to see because, our boy Cignetti talks, and I love it. I'm here for it. I love the confidence and the brashness. They got a good opportunity now because last year's Ohio State game wasn't competitive. Notre Dame game wasn't competitive. Like, they've got a chance to kind of shut some people up and really prove it. Like, listen, going undefeated is proving it. But, like, now going playing a really good team, they could make a statement by keeping this close. I think that Mendoza is the key for their offense. I think he's going to have to run it more than he's ran it. He's going to have to play really clean from the pocket. Here's the thing about Mendoza. He's 6'5", like 230. He can run. He can make all the plays. He hangs in there and gets whacked. Like, he gets whacked and will make plays. Surratt came back, thank God, at wide receiver for them. So the key matchup in this game is very simple. You're not going to line up and pound Ohio State. But their corners, they proved last year, and this year not as much because they haven't played a lot of great receiving units. Like, they get handsy. Can they play that man-to-man stuff on the outside? The hardest ball to defend is that back shoulder fade. And Surratt and Mendoza do it the best in the league. Like, they do it the best in any league. They're really, really good at it. So can you make plays on their secondary? Because they're going to be aggressive. They're going to be in your kitchen. And you've got to do it on first down. Because when Ohio State gets into this third down package, they're going to put Reese at outside linebacker or defensive end, and he's going to rush the passer, and he's going to kick your ace. It's not going to end well for you. You've got to do it when he's playing linebacker. You can't do it when he's playing, at the defensive end spot. That really, really will put your tackles in a bind. So they've got to be aggressive, the back shoulders, taking shots. Surratt and Cooper have to win out wide.
Well, the SEC has gotten way deeper, but it's still Alabama, Georgia in the championship game, which, maybe it's a punishment for the two of them because I don't think anyone that's not playing in it is mad about it currently. But what do you think about the football game? And is there an outcome that is this you have to win it if you're Alabama? Just what do you think their future looks like depending on if they win or lose?
I don't think Georgia has to win. I don't think Alabama has to win, but Alabama has to play well. Like, Alabama can't go get blown out and now add another loss, which the committee has proven, like, losses are a big deal to them. And if it's a bad loss, like, I think that's the only way Alabama could be out. But here's the key to me. First of all, Alabama owns Georgia. Like, that's a fact. Like, that they have dominated this rivalry, this matchup. If you ask me to list the number of importance, the players on Georgia's offense, it would be Gunnar Stockton, it would be Branch, and it would be Bobo. Bobo at center, not Bobo, the offensive coordinator. He's out. Like, he got hurt last week.
I just want to point out
You like
How
that?
proud I am of you for respecting the
I
center
mean,
position.
if Gabe doesn't love that, I don't know who does.
You're the
Like
man, Pollack. That was so
it's
good.
I mean, he makes all of the calls. He's the guy that with the experience, he knows what defenses are doing. By the way, Bobo's backup center got hurt in the Charlotte game. So like that's a big deal, man. Like that's a huge deal. And I think that's a big advantage to Alabama. Alabama's defense has continued to rise throughout this season and get more pressure on the quarterback. And they don't have to blitz as much. And they like to play zone anyway. So, this puts a lot of pressure on Gunner, who doesn't throw it the best in zone. He doesn't layer the football. He doesn't stay patient. That's not really his thing. And now he's got to make more calls. Like, I think Georgia's defense, which has done this too and improved throughout the seasons, going to have to come up big. This will have to be a low-scoring game. This will have to be they can't win a shootout. And Ty Simpson and company in this offense, I think that I thought Venables and the Oklahoma team played them perfect. If you're going to beat this offense, it is very critical to understand, what does Ty Simpson do best? He throws the ball over the middle of the field. He's the best in the country at it. Mateer's really good at it. But that's where he makes his living. What did Oklahoma do? Take away the middle of the field. Like, you want to throw the ball down the field, you don't throw it as well. You want to throw the ball outside the numbers, you don't throw it as well. Like, don't let somebody beat you with their fastball. And so Ty Simpson, Ryan Grubb, the run game has been absolutely MIA. It's been missing. Can they get that going? Because they're going to have to get that going to attack the middle of the field, right? Like, y'all know that. Like, you want to attack the middle of the field, make those linebackers come up and play me. Like, make them play the run, because right now the run game has been non-existent, so the play action isn't as good. So Ty Simpson's capabilities are limited a little bit. It makes him less dynamic and less of those big plays are happening through this offense.
It's wild.
Bernard is maybe the best in the country at running those deep dig routes. Ryan Williams has disappeared. Some weird things going on with Bama right now, Ted.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of gonna ask David. Like, what's it like? Because to see these two teams, they're in the championship, but they're both totally different than we've seen in the past. Georgia, we're used to them just choking people with the defense, and it's taken a while for the defense to ramp up this year. I think they get it done in all three phases. And Alabama can't run the ball. What's going on here? That's
weird,
a
man.
Different world.
It's weird. Like, you're so used to seeing them make people tap out and finish games, and you're so used to 3rd and 1 being like, okay, automatic, here it comes. Like, if you watch Alabama on 4th and short, like, it's pass, it's trick plays. Like, really, it literally is. It's strange. It's like we're living in an alternate universe. And listen, Georgia could easily win this game. And if Bobo was there, man, I think it would make a big difference, and it would make me feel more confident in them. But like, Gunner's going to be asked to do more. The offensive line now is going to shift a little bit. Can they be that dominant run team that they've been throughout the season? Because they've been really good at it, man. Like, they've had a stable of backs. Frazier's really started to cement himself. But it's funny because there's times where I'm like, Bowens is the best back. There's times where I'm like, oh, no, it's definitely Frazier. Like, and then Gunner gets to run it, and then Branch will get it, and Bell will get it. So, it's not vintage Georgia, Alabama that we've seen from years past, where they're clearly the best teams in the country. But I thought Kirby was really Kirby-esque when they asked him about it. He was like, what the heck are y'all talking about? This freaking matters. Winning this league matters. Like, he was like, I don't understand the question. He was literally looking at people like they were aliens. Like, do you really want to be in this game? He's like, what do you mean? We get a chance to go prove we're the best. Like, yeah, I want to be in this game. I want to win this game. This is what I grew up wanting to go chase. And so, it's a big weekend for that.
What do you think about the future? And it clearly focused on the SEC championship game. And we don't have the history in the SEC like you do, playing at Georgia. To us, it kind of feels like a punishment that Georgia has to go play in this game. Like, and then we're going to go to 9 conference games. What do you think the future of these championship games is?
9 conference games is so dumb. Like, it is the dumbest thing the SEC's ever done. Remember, the SEC has less teams than the Big Ten. So now you're going to get a shot at more of these teams that are good. Like, you're going to beat yourself up more. Like, this is not a bright move. It's not a smart move for protecting your conference moving forward. Like, listen, the Big Ten is a great conference. They've won the last 2 national championships. They deserve respect for that. It's not a deep conference. Like, Ohio State's resting receivers during the season. Like, oh, you're not. Surratt can be like, I'm good at Indiana. Like, we're playing. Like, you can't do that against LSU. Y'all saw that last week. Like, LSU's got a bunch of dudes that are pros. Like, they had a 7-4 season going. That's disappointing. They're firing their coach.
You can't do it against Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas can.
Arkansas may have the best
score.
Quarterback in college football.
Arkansas can definitely score and put up some points, but like that's the point, and that's the argument every year. So the 9-game conference schedule to me is dumb. I'd rather be sitting at home. Because again, the more I have to play, the more people are going to get hurt. This is a violent game. This is a collision game. The more I get dinged, the whole point, just like being a boxer. If I'm a boxer, the whole point is to get to the fight healthy. Like, the whole point, I want to get to the fight and be ready to fight. If I get hurt in sparring, it sucks. Well, there's a lot of people that are sparring this weekend. It means absolutely nothing. And if they get hurt during this week, they don't get to go fight and fight for the world championship, which is what they all want in the end. It kind of stinks. I like the idea of changing some things up in the future and making this a play-in weekend. Like, that would be freaking dope to see. And the schedule needs to change. The schedule's an absolute joke in college football. Like, I've been on this for a while and it ticks me off. So every chance I get to talk about it, I'm doing. Like, the NFL, you can't tamper with coaches. Like, you can have an agreement in place after the season. Like, Lane Kiffin, there's no reason that should happen ever in a million years. It should not happen ever. The calendar in college football is absolutely shattered, broken. Like, you can't finish a season. Think about going grocery shopping and be like, hey, I'm going to the grocery store. But you have no clue what you have at the house. That's what you're doing on National Signing Day. You're going grocery shopping and just guessing, I think I need this, I think I need that. Because when the transfer portal comes, you don't know what you got. Like, you got a party, you got 12 people coming over. They're about to eat all your food. So don't go to the grocery store, right? Go to the grocery store afterwards. So I just think the whole calendar sucks. It's broken. It needs to be fixed. It's something that continues to bite college football in the butt, and we need to do something about it.
Yeah, I agree. The Notre Dame Miami situation, and just kind of like the back end of the playoff, who gets in, who doesn't, Texas with 3 losses. Like, how do you see that all playing out?
Well, last week kind of squandered the chances of like having some craziness. Like Alabama winning, Oklahoma winning, like those teams are probably a little bit ticked off. They were probably cheering against you hard. But you look at it now, there's not a lot of wiggle room. So now, like, listen, I've done this every week. When we do our rankings on our show, I'm like, dude, you guys rank them. You tell me who you want to put 8, 9, and 10. Like, right now, I got Ole Miss as the last 1-loss team because I don't know who their offensive play caller is. Like, that's a legit concern to me. Like, so I moved them down below A&M, even though I like what they've done this season, and I'm not hating on them for losing at Georgia in the fourth quarter. Like, that's not a bad loss to me. So then it gets, to Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Alabama, and Oklahoma. Thank goodness they beat Alabama. Well, guess what? It'd be so nice to say Notre Dame and Miami. It'd be great if we had some kind of comparison, like a head-to-head. We do. What the heck are we doing? Like, I don't care when it was. I don't care where they played it. They could play it on Jupiter for all I care. I don't give a crap. If one team beat the other team and the resumes are extremely comparable, which they are, they're extremely comparable. Like, here's the thing. Notre Dame's losses are more impressive than Miami's losses. But Miami's wins are more impressive than Notre Dame's wins. So there's got to be an element of give and take back and forth. But in the criteria, it very much states head-to-head matters. And so it can't matter with Oklahoma and Alabama and all these other different spots when Georgia was Alabama and Georgia and Ole Miss, but then not matter for Miami and Notre Dame. Like, it's got to be addressed now. And remember, guys, when it gets to the clusters, you have to be within a 3-team cluster for head-to-head to matter. That's the only time, because they put 3 teams up and then they go, okay, these 3 teams, we're going to rank them. Okay, head-to-head comes into play. Well, when Miami's been down here and Notre Dame's been a little bit higher, like there is no head to head, right? Like, so now you have head to head, common opponents, all that stuff will come into it. If I'm Miami and I'm left out and I beat Notre Dame, like if Miami wants to come schedule me in the or if Notre Dame wants to come schedule me in the future, absolutely not. Kick rocks. Kick rocks. I get nothing out of playing you. Like, and Boomer Esiason said that yesterday, I think, or a couple days ago, and I thought it was the best thing he said. Like, he was like, why would ACC teams and Big Ten teams play Notre Dame anymore then? Because they're just stealing your spot. Like, make them join a league. You want to make them join a league? Don't schedule them. Like, it's a pretty good thought process when it comes to it, because otherwise, how are they going to get in the playoff?
We'll get you back to the interview. But first, wind, hail, tornadoes, and earthquakes are now year-round threats. And at the same time, homeowners insurance rates in Oklahoma are the highest in the entire country. Unfortunately, some insurance companies use deceptive and bad faith claim handling practices to deny or lower what little they pay out. Fortunately, one of the leading insurance bad faith attorneys in the country is a longtime Sooner and resides here in Oklahoma, Jeff Marr. The Marr Law Firm has represented more victims of tornado, storm, and earthquake damage than anyone in the Sooner State, recovering hundreds of millions of dollars for their clients. There's only one law firm to handle insurance companies, Marr Law Firm. And three things matter in banking: service, service, and service. And First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise. It's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they are honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you are headed. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go.
Bishop McGuinness Catholic High School represents a tradition of educational excellence in Oklahoma City. Grounded in a faith-based education, Bishop McGuinness offers a college prep curriculum that includes 26 AP courses, participation in OSSAA athletics, and numerous clubs and organizations for students to join and grow. If you want to provide the best possible educational and spiritual development for your children, contact Bishop McGuinness Catholic High School or visit bmchs.org. Financial aid is available.
All right, back to the interview. I feel like the Texas argument, and I think Texas is a good team. My skin kind of burns when I said that out loud, but it is them going to Ohio State and losing a one-score game being the reason that they're left out. It does make me a little concerned, especially with the SEC going to 9 conference games, David. It does make me concerned that we're going to lose a lot of the fun non-conference matchups moving forward.
Why would you play them? Why would you play them? Like,
exactly.
Texas is going to be a great case study because they're going to get left out. And they played 5 top 10 teams. Like, 5? Are you kidding me? Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, it's insane. And they beat Oklahoma. Sorry, guys. They beat A&M, who was undefeated at number 3. Like, they lost to Georgia. Yeah, Georgia's a good team, right? Like, I mean, it's crazy to think about, like, if they'd have played Chattanooga State and they could have put their backups in and they won and they were at a 2-loss team, it's a totally different conversation. Totally different conversation. Listen, Alabama and FSU. It's the same thing. Like, Alabama had a bad day. They lost. Like, if Alabama doesn't have that loss, they're guaranteed to be in. This trash talk is out of here, right? Like, nobody's judging them. Like, that's another perfect example of what we're seeing with it. So if the conference is going to be that hard and my schedule is going to be difficult anyways, like, listen, Indiana's schedule's a joke and they don't schedule anybody out of conference. So, and he was like, I'm doing what the SEC does. What bad year to say that, because LSU also went to Death Valley in Clemson to play them. So, like, there was opportunities early in the season that the SEC played really tough games, which were awesome, and we loved it, and we celebrated it, and we got to enjoy it. That probably will disappear because this committee is infatuated with losses. That's all it cares about is losses. Like, it's not the good wins, it's the losses, which is not how I would do it.
Well, I agree with all that. But maybe the real problem is we may have a playoff with James Madison and Tulane in it instead of a Texas being in or Miami being in. Like, if that happens this year, if Duke somehow goes and beats Virginia, is that going to be the situation that finally breaks this whole deal?
Well, listen, if we want to fix this situation anyways, like we shouldn't be, I put together every week on the pod on Mondays, our top 12. And every week, you're stacking your teams. Then you're going, oh yeah, I forgot. I got to put one of them in, right? Like I got to slide one of these guys in. And I do it just for fun. I'm like Navy, North Texas,
Ted, he just switches them each week.
I switch them every week.
There's like no rhyme or reason. It's hilarious.
No rhyme or reason because none of them deserve to be there. So it doesn't matter. So literally, I just pull it out of a hat and like, bam, here you go. This week it was North Texas. Congratulations, North Texas. But like, it doesn't matter to me. That should not happen. So that's something we have to do. Guys, I don't think people understand. Like, Duke also, Teddy, to your point, if you want to talk about Duke, if Duke wins, Tulane stomped Duke. So you can't tell me that Duke deserves to be in with all of their losses, and they got tapped out by Tulane, like tapped out, destroyed by Tulane. Like that's craziness. So there is a world where I think this could happen. I just don't think the committee's going to do it. I think they'll find a way to rank them probably above, but that would be the perfect scenario where you go, okay, you think the system sucks now, guys? Like you think some things need to be changed? Last year we had, think about this. This time last year, like you're talking about one of those teams, not only one of those teams guaranteed to be in, but Virginia or Duke are going to get a bye. So they were fighting for a bye. But they literally, if whoever wins this weekend with their schedule, all their losses, all their falls, they were going to get a bye in the playoffs. So we fixed that. Like, let's keep fixing this crap, man. Let's not just accept that we've got a good system because we don't. Like, the system needs to continue to be tweaked. The group of five, man, let's get them their own thing. Like, we've been saying this for years. Like, let's get TV to it. Let's make millions of dollars. Continue to play those guys so they can have revenue and they can have those big games. But, like, you can't tell me that Miami's just sitting there and Texas and these teams, like, they're just sitting there on the periphery and they don't have a chance because of what the heck we have to do with this system. We have to put a group of five team in there. It shouldn't be the case.
We need an NIT. You need because no one cares about bowl games anymore. Like you got your 12 that are going for the championship and then throw everyone else in the NIT.
Listen, Teddy, I could fix all of this, but you don't have enough time for me to give you all of my opinions on this. But this system is broken on a bunch of levels, and it's not a lot of hard things that need to be changed. But, let's keep making changes to it for sure.
Okay. We do have time. I mean, if you have time, we have time. But I will say you have been – I think you're one of the most level-headed people covering college football when it comes to some of the changes that need to be made. If you were named commissioner, what would be like the first two things that you would do to make this chaotic mess a little more organized?
Well, let's be honest. The SEC and the Big Ten have all the power. So they're going to make the decisions. They've got the money. The gap between them is really, really wide. Okay, let's make two conferences. Like, let's narrow down because here's the thing. The NCAA has no power, does absolutely nothing. They've got so many things to mandate and so many things to talk about. Well, let's take some of that off their plate. Let's go into two conferences. Let's narrow this down like an AFC, like an NFC in the NFL. Now we've made some changes. Here's my thing. People don't complain about in the NFL. You come in and it's slated, right? It's slated. People don't complain about that. People aren't, oh my God, these guys don't have a right to do this because it's business. That we should have a rookie salary cap when people come in. Like, you can't come in with these asinine contracts. You're not paid for play. You're paid for what you earn. That way these kids are held accountable. They can go to school. They have to stay at a school. The contract is legally binding. Like, you have to go somewhere for 2 years. Then you can leave. Because right now we can pull the parachute whenever it gets hard. That's not what I want about this life, right? So I'm going to give you way more than two because, again, I could go on for days and days with this. But, like, we've got to find a way to find a structure that the players are involved in the decision-making, the coaches are involved in the decision-making, and that way we know we have something that everybody's in agreement with. So collectively bargaining. Like, we have to do that at some point in this sport. Like, they put in this new rule, right? There's a salary cap of $20.5 million. Really? Really? You costed your university $20.5 million a year because nobody listens to it. You didn't sit down with the coaches. You didn't sit down with the players to make that decision. They're not following this crap. Football spending more than that on their rosters. You done lost your Virginia spending that on their roster this year. Congratulations to you. That's awesome. Good for you for getting buy-in. Like, this is not the system we have. Like, we need to get some leadership in place, which is hard to do, but it's got to start with the Big Ten and the SEC. You got the power, you've got the say, you've got the TV deals, you've got the money, you've got the product. So now let's get together and start to put some parameters in place that helps everybody win. The players continue to get paid. The coaches continue to get paid. Like, we're not changing that, but there has to be some structure to the wild, wild west that we're seeing right now in college football.
I agree. And how would you do the calendar? Because the calendar is really what screws the whole thing up. They want to get every freshman in for the spring semester. So they moved the signing day up from February to December. But if a coach is leaving, transfer portal, you mentioned it, like, oh, we don't need to go get a bunch of receivers. We got 5 guys. Well, all 5 of your guys just left the transfer portal. What are you going to do now? So how would you lay out the schedule?
Well, I mean, let's give it a buffer after college football. Like, let's let everyone finish, and then let's sign. Like, listen, don't give me the academic calendar. Teddy, they can kick rocks with the academic calendar. Like,
Amen.
Ain't nobody going to school for academics anymore. They're getting paid. These are
if that's the big problem, move spring ball to like a mini camp in the NFL. Move it after the season or after the spring semester.
Yes, and so, like, I want to have those kids the ability you finish the playoff, like, end the regular season earlier if you want to, extend, make your playoff end. You've got a couple weeks to get your ducks in a row. You go do National Signing Day, so that way the kids can get in. You have everybody joins their team. Now you have the transfer portal before spring football. So you don't lose guys, but like, you've got, look at all your freshmen, you've seen them, you got your team, everybody that's intact. Now you know who's leaving. So before spring football, you have the transfer portal window where you can sign, you can address what you need, you can see what you want to bring in, you bring them in, you go through spring, and your roster is set. You don't go through spring and go, I just lost 5 starters. Like, imagine going through spring, developing reps, 5 guys pull the parachute into the portal, and I lost 5 guys. So I have my transfer portal window. I have my football now. I'm good at spring football. And now we go into the season. Like, that's not that difficult, I don't think. Like, I think we can all get together and make that work. Don't give me the academic calendar. Like, nobody cares about academics. When's the last time that we heard a player was academically ineligible in college football?
I think it's impossible now, David.
I don't think it's possible. Let me tell you something. You know what these guys do with their money? They take their money and they go pay people to do their work. That's what they do. And it's exactly what I would have done, by the way. Exactly what I would have done.
I was a nerd, so it's probably not how I would have gone about it. But
that's because you're an offensive lineman. Exactly. You're smart. I'm a dumb defensive player. That's why my podcast is See Ball, Get Ball. I'm not you see ball, you get ball.
Elite name. Now, it's a bit unfortunate that, we're heading into the conference championship weekend. The conversation should be about the games and these teams. And really all you're seeing anyone talk about right now is Kiffin and the coaching carousel. Now, it's part of the business. It's part of the sport. It's part of the calendar that is so jacked up. But is there any fit that you really, really like where a guy landed and you went, oh, okay, I think that's going to be really, really good?
Well, here's the thing about all the coaching carousels, like Lane Kiffin. Lane took a better quote unquote job 10 years ago, 7 years ago. 7 years ago, what Lane just did is absolutely must do, have to do probably to go win a national championship. You know who thought the same thing a couple years ago? Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly said, hey, I got to leave Notre Dame because I need a chance to go win a national title. Like, we don't live in that world anymore where, yes, recruiting is a part of the world now, but like, money talks. Like, you're not going to put a fence around the state of Louisiana. Like, that doesn't happen anymore. Like, that used to be, right? That used to be the terms. Like, we're going to build a fence. We're going to keep our guys home. Like, the built-in advantage isn't there. If Lane Kiffin would have stayed at Ole Miss and continued to win 10 games, they'd have built a statue of him outside. If you go to LSU and you win 10 games a year, you'll be fired. Like, I think the world has changed when it comes to these jobs. And I think everybody hasn't caught on to that yet. And like, you better have a staff. And here's the good thing Lane has. Lane has a great OC. Charlie Weiss Jr. calls those plays. He brought him with him. Lane has elite resources, and that's what he's negotiated at LSU. He's got great resources. He's got great capability to go get guys. Lane has one of the best GMs in all of college football, Billy. Billy is unbelievable, and he's been ahead of the curve. He's a Moneyball guy. Like, he's done an unbelievable job of being ahead of this and understanding how to pay players, how to show them their value, how to pay them their value. And Lane's been the biggest beneficiary of the new world, because Lane's not like the recruiting type. Lane's not going to go sleep on couches and go harass high school kids. And like, Kirby's going to be all involved every day calling. Lane's like, yeah, like, I'm going to go play pickleball. Like, I'm going to go play golf. Like, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go troll somebody, like, which is fantastic. I'm here for it. So
we'll get you back to the interview, but first, this fall, Poncho's got you covered, with classics like denim and flannels to new styles like the Western polo and tough thread. Comfortable, durable, and versatile for whatever the season brings. Poncho's denim shirt is great. It's my new go-to denim shirt. Going to be a fall fashion staple for me. I love this thing. And Poncho's flannels are the perfect medium weight, and they have a nice stretch to them. You can never have too many great flannels. You guys know how that goes. Poncho listened to their customers, and they have launched the Western Polo. This thing is a versatile shirt. Go get you one. You'll wear it a ton. And Poncho offers free shipping and free returns because they want you in a shirt that you love. Gear up for fall with Poncho. Every piece is built for comfort, performance, and lasting style. Go to ponchooutdoors.com/OKBreakdown and enter your email for $10 off your first order. That's PONCHO outdoors.com/OKBreakdown for $10 off and free shipping. And when they ask you how you heard about them, let them know the Oklahoma Breakdown sent you. It really helps support the show. And go to opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED for 10% off our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED. Buttery soft and 10% off. All right, back to the interview.
I don't think there's been a hire that's a home run. Alex Golesh, extremely smart. Like, just a brilliant guy that I think has a chance to be successful at Auburn. And you look at Auburn, all the ingredients are there, right? Like, retain that roster with what they have, because they've got some really, really good players on that roster. But Golesh is good. Summerall to Florida, a team from Louisiana out of the group of 5 coming to Florida. Like, I don't think that it's interesting. It's an interesting thing. And then
feels familiar.
It feels very familiar, and I don't think that helps Florida fans. But he is familiar with the SEC, played linebacker in the SEC, as the Alabama ties. Like, I think he's got some stuff to him, but offensively, what are they going to be? I don't see the hires across I don't see anybody as a home run hire. I don't automatically think Lane's going to go in there and win championships. I know LSU is a team that can do that, but like, this day and age, man, it's more than that. There's a reason Indiana now is a top 5 team in college football. Like, it's a new world, and whoever got ahead of it with the general managers and the staffs and the money seemed to have been having a lot of success.
You built right into what I was going to ask you. I think Golesh is fantastic. Same thing with Summerall, but it's not necessarily an X's and O's thing as like it used to be. Like, you're stepping into a totally different world where it's salary cap and transfer portal and with that being, are you surprised that we haven't seen more interest, number one, from schools looking to the NFL or NFL guys looking to the SEC, the Big Ten school, like the conferences that are starting to build it that way?
Well, here's the thing. You're seeing more and more of that, building it like the NFL. But what you said is really, 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 really profound, because great coaches right now in college football, if they don't understand business and what's going on, they're not great coaches. I'll give you a great example. Mark Stoops is one of the better coaches in college football. Mark Stoops is a great coach. Mark Stoops had the ability at Kentucky to take 2- and 3-star kids, develop the piss out of them, and go make them special. Mark Stoops is not a good coach anymore. No, Mark Stoops didn't understand the business of it. Mark Stoops doesn't have the money, the capital. Good coaches it doesn't matter if you're a really good coach now. That doesn't make a difference. The thing about Summerall and Golish and these guys, they've done this. They've done the budget. They've done the NIL. They've done the transfer portal. Now, not to this level. They're more like, okay, can we get somebody that's been, a backup or something? But they've still done it. And I think you're seeing less and less, and you're going to see less coordinators hired because I think it's harder. This is a harder world, man. If you haven't drank through this fire hose that people have been drinking through the last couple of years with the changes, you don't really, really know. And so I think that's why you're seeing those guys get in the chair. But there's a lot of great coaches, man, great coaches that will not survive this. There's a reason Nick Saban got out. Like, Nick Saban got out for a reason, man. Like, he couldn't control this. And he knew what was about to happen. And he knew what he could and couldn't do. And this is not the good old days. And you better adapt and you better adjust and you better be willing to. Oklahoma, they hired a GM, right? Like, you better be willing to find people that know how to identify talent, that have a job of talking to agents, because that's what they do. What else does a GM do, really? Like, you got to negotiate with these agents. You've got a staff of people that are watching tape, and you got to be the communicator. You got to understand how to do that, how that works, what the value is of the market value, and what you need, and how to talk to people that, because right now there's agents that are parents. There's agents that are uncles. Like, you got to talk to all kinds of different people from different backgrounds and try to make it work.
Last question for you, man. We appreciate you taking all this time with us. OU, now we're recording this before the CFP rankings come out. OU has been at 8. Who do you think OU should want to play? Who do you think the best matchup would be for the Sooners as far as, like, hey, winning that first round game?
Well, I think the guys you don't want to play are going to have a bye. So
right.
That's going to be extremely helpful. I look at your defense. Like, I think that the defense, like, this probably would be a thing that, if you think about defensively, who do I not want to see? I don't want to see the most explosive offense, right? Like, I think you guys are elite in the front end. I think the back end, you play some really good receivers. You want to play that aggressive, you can give up some plays. Like, you can give up some deep balls. You give some plays that change the game. You give up 2 deep shots and you're down 14 with that offense. The way it hasn't been clicking, it's not a good thing. So I think you want to avoid those offensive juggernauts that have that quarterback that can throw, that has the playmakers out wide. So that's what I'd be looking for. The only other thing too, you'd say, was a running quarterback, like a guy that could, make somebody miss when you're aggressive, take it to the house. But, those are I would look strictly at the offense, because I know how good my defense is. And then my defense, listen, I watched you guys' LSU game again this morning, and I watched on the coach's tape, and I'm like, all right, like, there's some good things still here, man. Like, I loved the end of the game. Now, it's because you had to. You went fast, and then Satania gets loose, and you get a big play. Like, Burks has the big play in the tunnel screen earlier in the game, right? Like, you just got to create those explosives. You're going to get so much man coverage on the outside. Like, you're just going to get it. And so how do I find a way to take those shots and hit them? Like, you can tell Mateer is very comfortable attacking the middle of the field. And that sucker he can catch it and he can rip it. It's like, I've got to develop over these next several weeks more of a running game. He's got to be more of a part of it. And listen, now you're in the grits, right? Now it matters. Now you're in the playoffs. If I need to run him 20 times a game, I need to run him 20 times a game. I like his build, his lower half. Like, I need to find a way to use him in the run game. I also think the zone read is the best chance for y'all to run the football, because it helps the offensive line. It creases them, right? It holds the backside. Y'all did a good job when y'all had some run plays that were good of zoning it up front, running the zone read. The back could split it, get 7 yards, right? It helps the offensive line where there's 3 freshmen up front. Mateer holds the backside. Now I can RPO off of it. The problem is the receivers don't win out wide consistently over, like, when they're running slants. I don't like when they run these slants. They're little body guys. They don't have the big body guys that can catch those. So how do I hold the outside with the RPO game? How do I hold the outside with the screen game to get a few people out of the box? I think Arbuckle was a big offseason hire. He's got to put this together, man. He's got to find a way to create some explosive plays. I would crank the tempo. Now, I don't like Venables probably doesn't like that, just like no defensive coach likes that, because it makes me have to play more sometimes than I want to, faster than I want to. 3 and out, bang, I'm on the field. but you got to find a way to create some explosives in this offense. And the screen game has been good. Mateer run game has to get better. The zone read has to be more of a part of, I think, the offense.
Did you hear him say we should run more zone, Ted?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Hey,
People that know what they're looking at see it, Ted. I'm just saying.
strong
David, I've been
agreement.
saying that for like the entire season. So thank you. Thank you.
Well, Teddy, I hate to agree with the offensive guy. If you gave me a heads up, Teddy, I would have disowned him.
See ball, get ball. Everyone go check it out. Awesome podcast.
Hey, we got Hugh Freeze. We got Hugh. When does this come out?
Well, this will drop Wednesday morning.
Okay. We got Hugh Freeze coming on our podcast tonight. It's the first time he's had a conversation. So you can go back and listen to it. Really, really good. I recorded that with him earlier. I asked him all the questions, man. Like, why didn't you win? Did the boosters get involved at Auburn? Like, we asked all those cool questions, and Hugh was very gracious. And so it's another good listen as well.
First question. Is it really that crazy there?
Yeah.
Pollack, you're the man. Appreciate the time, buddy.
Appreciate you, dudes. Thank y'all.
Some great stuff from Pollack. I didn't ask him. I didn't want to bring it up because he's crushing it now with See Ball, Get Ball. ESPN, what a horrible mistake. That guy is so good, and he is so much better than some people they have in prominent positions in their college football coverage. It's ridiculous that he's not on ESPN or Fox or one of those. He's fantastic, dude. He's got that energy that is just, I mean, I love it. I love his stuff. And maybe it was all of our gain that ESPN made the mistake that they did, because now he's just pumping out podcast content for me to consume, and I love it.
Ball knower, and I don't know, I guess they went entertainment factor over that. I don't know, but he watches a lot of football. You know, a lot of those guys, you can tell, don't, but very knowledgeable. He knows all the right people, talks to the right people. Great stuff. And a hell of a football player. I don't know if people realize how great he was at Georgia. One of the best college football players of all time.
I heard him talk about it on his podcast. He was like, I couldn't tell if he was saying players or coaches, but he was like, some guys were saying he wouldn't have played on the Georgia national championship teams like the recent ones. And he was just like, okay. I don't think people realize that, like, and that's why I said in the intro, that is a bad dude. The only reason he didn't have a ridiculous NFL career is because he had a career-ending neck injury.
Yep.
Like, that's the only reason.
I played with some guys that played with him at Georgia in the NFL, and there was no second guessing. Anytime his name came up, that dude can play. So, yeah, I've got all the respect in the world for him.
If you've never seen Pollack's college highlights, go check them out. Violence.
Three-time All-American.
Violence. So much violence. But also a great dude. And that concludes the David Pollack Love Fest portion of the podcast. I really do. I think he does a tremendous job. Birthday shout-outs. Happy first birthday to Eden Isaacs.
Happy 28th birthday to Jordan Kennedy.
And happy 50th birthday, the big 5-0.
Yes.
To Sean McKinney. On that note, episode 586 in the books. Remember, on Sunday, we'll talk the first round matchup. We're going to wait till we know what it is to record, and then we'll have a lot of stuff on OU signing class. So it'll be a very OU heavy pod on Sunday. Sprinkle in some conversation about what happens in the conference championship games when we're talking about the seeding and all that. That should be a lot of fun. I'm very excited.
Can't wait.
Just a reminder, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, check out our website, okbreakdown.com. Hope you all have a great rest of your week. Enjoy just sitting back and watching the games, knowing that our squad is in the playoff. It's going to be nice, Ted.
If you can, call Hunter Yurachek and tell him we're trying to host a pod before the home playoff game. So keep that in mind.
Until next time. We appreciate y'all for listening. Do what you always do, Oklahoma. Take care of each other.